Hey everybody, it's Jason from the Texas Gun Vault, and today I'm coming to you with another EDC Gear review. And today's EDC Gear is coming to us from Thrunite. Now this is a company that I have reviewed a whole ton of flashlights from, and I have to be very honest with you. I own Surefires, I own Streamlights, I own Olights. Thrunite is a really good flashlight company. I have been impressed with many of their products. In fact, the light that I carry as my personal EDC light is the Thrunite T1. Now this thing has been dropped, it has been abused. You can see where all the anodization is coming off the back. I carry this thing everywhere. I've dropped it on the cement, you can see around the bezel. It's gotten scuffed and scratched. This thing is still bright, it works great, it's easy to charge. It's just been the absolute best pocket EDC flashlight I've ever owned. Well, they contacted me again and said, hey, we have a new product. Now, I'm not sure if this is a tactical flashlight necessarily, but supposedly it's gonna be pretty big and pretty bright. The model number is the TC20 V2. So, let me adjust the camera, let's unbox this thing, and let's see this new product from Thrunite and compare it to other flashlights that are going to be about the same size. So once I open this up, see exactly what it is, I'll kind of pick a couple of flashlights that you guys may know or have seen me review in the past, and we'll compare and contrast. Alright, so as always, here's the box it comes in. It's the standard paper Thrunite box. I actually think they're pretty attractive, pretty nice, and pretty durable for what they are. Let's go ahead and open this thing up. We got the please screw down the light head and tail cap tightly before use. We got the flashlight, and boy oh boy, is that a big one. That is a big boy. Take a look at that thing. All right, we'll set that aside. Then let's see what else we get in the box here. Of course, you get your owner's manual, lanyard, silica gel, get your charging cable, and a carrying case. And that looks like that's gonna be about it. So we'll put all those accessories to the side and let's take a look at this light. Dang, this thing is pretty darn big. So let's go ahead and open this thing up and see what battery is inside this. Okay, so this thing is going to be a pretty darn big battery. It is a 26650. I'm assuming that's the model right there. 3.7 volts. So if this thing goes out, I don't know how hard it would be to find a replacement. But this is a Thrunite branded battery here. Let's go ahead and put this back together, tighten it all down, and hopefully it is charged. I'll go ahead and push the button once. Yep, there it is on low. And if it's like the other Thrunites, I think you hold it down, and yeah, you can cycle through all of the brightnesses. And it has a few brightness settings there. That bright one is really bright. I'll have to check the owner's manual and see if there are any other settings. I'm sure if I push the button down a number of times, maybe 2, 1, 2, oh yeah, it goes to turbo mode. And that is really bright. And we'll test that out in a minute when I turn off the lights here in the garage. And probably if I push it 3 times, it should go into strobe. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, maybe not. There it goes. You gotta get the timing of that button just right. So it pretty much functions just like all the other Thrunites. It's just a lot bigger. Now here's the T1 that I carry in my pocket. So judging on its shape and size, I don't think this is necessarily a tactical flashlight, but this would probably be like an outdoor camping flashlight, and I'm going to assume it's gonna have a lot of brightness. So let me go ahead and check the owner's manual here, and I'll give you guys the specs. Alright, so according to the owner's manual, these are the specs. In Firefly mode, it is 0.3 lumens, low is 35 lumens, medium is 320, high is 1853 lumens, and turbo is 4068 to 1722 lumens. So you have a large variety there. And I guess on turbo mode for the first 120 seconds, it is 4068. So this thing is bright. Really bright. So wow, that thing's going to pump out a lot of power. I don't really think I have anything else that I have reviewed in the past that comes anywhere close to this. So let me see what else I got, and I'll compare and contrast it here on the table. All right, so here's a few other lights to compare to. Here's the Thrunite TC20 V2. Here is the Phoenix, or as I've heard some people pronounce it, Phoenix TK16. This is a pretty popular flashlight that a lot of other EDC reviewers and gun tubers have shown, and that is how that compares. It's definitely longer, and the Thrunite is thicker. And then the other one here is one of my favorite tactical flashlights. This is the Nitecore P20i. I really like this light a lot. And there it is in comparison to that one. Definitely a lot longer and a lot more thinner, and that's why this is more tactical. And these, of course, both have more aggressive bezels that could be used as either melee weapons or hitting people or maybe windows and busting things out with. This one does not have that, so that's why I say this is definitely not a tactical flashlight. This is more of a general use flashlight, and because it's so powerful, probably for camping or outdoor use. Just holding it here, like all the other Thrunites that I own, it seems to be well built. The anodization looks perfect. I like all of the milling here on the tube. It has O-rings, as you saw when I disassembled it to get the battery out. I'm really impressed with the build quality, and it does have the orange peel reflector. So that's probably going to be really good for scattering the light a little bit. And once again, that's probably great for camping and outdoor use. All right, so let me adjust the camera here. I'll dim the garage, and we'll see what type of hotspot and spill this thing has and what the beam looks like in general. All right, so this really is the hardest part of the test to record, mainly because these cameras adjust to the light and they're very sensitive. So really showing you guys the moonlight mode and the medium settings and the high settings, it doesn't always come across on camera, so I have to kind of explain as best I can. We're gonna start off with the Thrunite, and we're gonna go to Firefly mode first. And maybe you can kind of see it there. I'm standing behind the camera. It is very dim. I really don't understand why a lot of these flashlights have these Firefly mode or moonlight modes, because I think they're pretty unusable. All right, so now we're gonna go to low, and I'm sure that looks pretty bright on camera, but right here it's pretty usable. So if you're not looking to have people see what you're doing, or maybe just drop something in your car, this is the perfect setting. We're gonna go to the medium, and I have to say, from just looking at the beam so far, it doesn't really have much of a centered hotspot. It's more of a floodlight. So you do have a little bit of a centered beam, but it's definitely not a hotspot. So I don't know if this is necessarily going to be a very long throw on this light, but it's very bright and the spill is pretty humongous. Then we're going to go to the bright setting. See if I can get it to go to that setting. There it is. And that thing really lights up the garage here. Pretty impressed with that. And if I click the button a couple times, it should go to turbo mode. And let's see if I can do that. There it is. And I don't know if that's going to come across on camera either, but dang, that is pretty darn bright. That's supposed to be like 4,000 lumens. I mean, this garage is lit up, and it has more spill than any other flashlight I have ever used. All right, so I'm pretty happy with that beam. And by the way, the box said it was a cool white is the color of the beam. So for comparison, I'm going to show you my other Thrunite light, and this is my EDC light, the very small pocket one, so I don't expect it to be able to be comparable to the big one. So here is the low setting on that and the high setting. And both of these use the orange peel reflector, so you don't really get that centered hotspot. And this is pretty bright for such a small flashlight, and I believe this is the T1. And once again, the other flashlight that we're reviewing is the Thrunite TC20 V2. So it's definitely a lot brighter, but that's just a comparison of my EDC light. So now what we're going to do is we're going to move to the Phoenix or Phoenix light, and I'm only going to show you these on the high settings. And being a tactical flashlight, this has a very centered hotspot. It's pretty darn bright, but it does not fill the garage like the Thrunite does. And here is the Nitecore light. And once again, another very bright centered hotspot. And of course, these do not have that orange peel reflector. So that's just kind of a comparison of probably the brightest flashlights that I own compared to the new Thrunite. All right, so let me adjust the camera and I'll give you guys my final thoughts. All right, so this light performed just like I thought it would. Excellent. All of the Thrunite flashlights that I have reviewed have performed perfectly. And as I said, I even carry a Thrunite as my personal EDC light. The only difference between this one and that is that this one is gigantic. Let me give you guys a close-up here again of this light. Really big, well-made, beefy, and heavy. Very impressed with it. And like all other Thrunite flashlights, they give you a whole bunch of extra parts like O-rings and the covers for the USB charging port. They give you a little sheath or carrying case, a charging cable, everything that you would need to keep this light in good operation. So I'm really impressed with them. Now, one of the advantages I think of Thrunite, if you care about buying flashlights, is you might not be able to afford, let's say, the Surefires or the Streamlights. Let's just say you're looking for a quality budget flashlight, and there's other companies out there that you may not want to buy from because you don't like their advertising. I totally get it. When I review those companies, I get a lot of hate, and I totally understand why some people might feel that way and they are just completely turned off. Well, Thrunite doesn't do that. So if you're looking for maybe a competitor to one of those flashlight companies at a pretty affordable price, take a look at Thrunite. I'm going to put a link in the description below to where you can go and get this particular flashlight and to Thrunite's website so you can go see all of the other products that they offer. Now, in full disclosure, I did receive this flashlight for free, but that's all the compensation I get. I don't have any type of affiliate link. I don't get any type of discount code. They just send me the light. So this is my honest review, but I want to be upfront with you in case you guys think I am not biased. But I do carry this brand as my EDC flashlight, so take that for what it's worth. So there you go, my unboxing and initial impressions of the Thrunite TC20 V2. Go check out the products from Thrunite. I have been thoroughly satisfied with every light I have gotten from them. So there you go. So let me know if you have any questions, comments, or concerns in the comment section below. And do you guys own any Thrunite flashlights? I would love to know if your experiences mirror mine. So as always, thanks for watching.